Hi, my name is Matthew Bellisario. Thanks for coming by the BellisarioSonic YouTube channel from the heart of the Deep South on the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama, where we talk about music, records, do record reviews, interviews, and much more. If you're interested in new jazz releases, definitely want to subscribe. I also do a lot of other types of reviews as well, but I really like to review new releases by working artists. Today, though, something that was recommended by Regina at Hi-Vi News over in Germany. So I hope you're watching. Hello. This is one of her suggestions. I put out a review of the Mike Clark record about, I don't know, a week or so ago. And she came by and really liked it and recommended this record. So I'm really excited to be reviewing this Dorothy Ashby record that she recommended. I picked this up from the Verve store. And this is actually a clear vinyl edition. They had a big sale at the Verve store, so I went on there and I bought a few records. This was one of them that she had recommended. So thank you, Regina. We're going to listen to this together. I have not heard this album, so I really don't know what it sounds like. So I'm excited to kind of do a reaction video here and give you my thoughts on this record. I didn't know a whole lot about her. I'd had this actual record on my wish list because everybody had talked about when it first came out about this record. I put it on my wish list and I was like, it wasn't at the top of my list. It kept getting pushed down, pushed down, pushed down. And I've not really listened to it again. And so, the whole harp thing kind of put me off a little bit, to be honest. I was like, yeah, what's a harp how's that gonna sound? Is it gonna be too out there kind of, anyways, this particular album here is remastered from the original quarter-inch tapes by Alex Wharton at Abbey Studios. This is a deluxe clear vinyl version which features 8 bonus tracks, alternate takes from the surviving 4-track session reels that many people apparently argue that they're superior recordings than those on the album, including an explosive rendition of the single Soul Vibrations, extended versions of its title track and Little Sunflower, and 2 fantastic jazzy readings of the theme from the Valley of the Dolls. So I didn't know a whole lot about this. I heard that people had really liked it, had it on my wish list. It just kept getting pushed down. Regina came on the channel, suggested it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger and get it. So here we are. Dorothy was born in 1932 in Detroit, died in 1986 in Santa Monica. She was a jazz harpist, singer, and composer. Talk a little bit more about her because I want to play a track from each of these 4 sides. So buckle in. We're going to see how this sounds. This is made in Germany. So, all right, let me go ahead and open this up and let's take this journey together. And I appreciate you guys joining me. Let's see how this sounds. Let's see what kind of pressing we got here. If you guys have not seen my interviews, you definitely want to check out the playlist. I've got over 160 jazz reviews on a playlist. I have 19 interviews now, or will be 19 interviews this coming Sunday. So if you missed last Sunday, we have Brian Charette on. Great conversation with him, talking about his latest record, about his favorite jazz records, talking about jazz. We had a great conversation about an hour long. So if you missed that this past Sunday, you're going to want to go check that out. This coming Sunday, I have Jacob Went, who hung out for a while. We had a great conversation just talking all things jazz. So I'm editing those into smaller, 30-minute chunks on different topics because literally it would be a very long interview for people to sit through. So I figured I'd break it up to make it a little more easier to listen to or watch. All right, so we're opening this up. Again, this is the clear version from the Verve store. There is a regular black vinyl version. This one was the one on sale on the website for the big Verve sale. So this is one of the ones I got. It's pretty nice packaging. There's your record. You give you guys a first look at the gatefold here. And again, I didn't know a whole lot about her. She grew up in Detroit. Her father was a self-taught jazz guitarist who often had musicians around the house. And as a young girl, she would provide support and background to them by playing piano. She attended Cass Technical High School, where fellow students she actually knew there that had attended school there, like Donald Byrd, Gerald Wilson, and Kenny Burrell. And while in high school, she tried a number of instruments, including saxophone, string bass, before being influenced by her father and piano teacher, decided to go with the harp. She was instructed by Velma Freud, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. She learned a strict classical style of harp playing, influenced by French harpist Carlos Salcedo. Age 17, she continued her studies at Wayne State University in Detroit, where she majored in piano and music education. After she graduated, she began playing piano in the jazz Detroit scene. Though by 1952, she had went to the harp as her main instrument, which is what we're going to hear on this record. So that's a little bit of background there. She died at the age of 53 from cancer in 1986 in Santa Monica, California. This album was released in 1968. And all the compositions are hers. Well, I should say several of the compositions are hers. There's also cover tunes by Freddie Hubbard on here, Andre Previn, Burt Bacharach. So let's go ahead and pull out the record and get on with it so I don't bore you guys. All right. So it looks like it comes with a booklet in here. That's pretty cool. So I'll show this to you as we listen here. And again, this one's supposed to be on clear vinyl. So, you know me, I like, I've talked on the channel how I prefer to have black vinyl, but this is a crystal clear vinyl, which is kind of cool. I hope it sounds good. We'll see. The thing that I find difficult with this clear vinyl is it's hard to see anything on there. You know, the specs, if you get kind of those white pieces of paper or different little particles, sometimes it's difficult to see on that clear or different colored records. So all things being equal, I usually prefer to have the black, but this is kind of a cool, it kind of looks cool. And the transparent colors seem to be of better quality than the opaque colors, as we've learned by some conversations. I think it was on Steve Westman's channel. He had, I forgot who he had on, but they had talked about that. So another thing about this, the vinyl community, it's great. The back and forth, and you guys coming on, leaving your comments, recommending records. Of course, it costs me more money every time you guys come on and recommend records. But I really appreciate when you guys do that and leave your comments just in general. I love to hear from you guys. All right, let's put this on. Soul Vibrations. This is off side 1. Everything looks like it's clean. I've sprayed it off with some distilled water. We're going to play it on the RT85 with the Ortofon Blue cartridge, going through a shit Monty preamp into my Yamaha HS8 speakers. Does look kind of cool having the clear vinyl on there, I must admit, but let's see how it's going to sound. Again, I've never heard this, so I'm pretty excited. Here's your pipe sticker. Booklet. sounding record so far. I'm trying to take it in here. Pretty nice sounding recording so far. Still trying to kind of take it in. It's a little bit different with the harp. So that's Soul Vibrations. Most of the tracks are actually surprisingly kind of short for the regular album. And then LP2 is all outtakes or different. Yeah, it looks like they're all alternate takes. So far, it's a pretty nice recording. I think it has nice, pretty good depth to it. Percussion sounds nice. I would say it sounds a little bit set back a little bit. It doesn't sound like it's right up in front of you. It sounds like everything is kind of set back a little bit as far as the... So as far as the perspective goes, you do have some depth there. It's not the warmest recording I've ever heard, but it doesn't sound bad either. Definitely has that 60s vibe to it. So far the record's been a nice pressing. It's flat. It's been quiet. I like the percussion. Originally recorded at Telmar Studios in Chicago, 1968. Harp sounds really nice. It kind of favors the left speaker. The percussion's over here favoring the right speaker. This one's called Games. So this is 4 of the songs are written by her. That was one of them, called Games. We'll listen to one more track. We'll listen to Action Line here coming up. Then we'll flip it over. We'll go to side 2. And then I definitely want to listen to something from the alternate tracks off the other record. Pretty groovy record, you know. Percussion sounds really nice here. You can really hear that resonance off the percussion. So it's a nice sounding record. So you have right up here on the inside, explains a little bit about the record. And then you've got this pretty cool booklet, which I'll flip through it again and show you guys. So again, this is remastered from the original 1/4-inch tapes by Alex Wharton at Abbey Road. This is a 2024 release. Originally on the Cadet label. So a lot of articles and write-ups in here. This is pretty cool. Some pretty cool pictures as well. All right, I'm going to flip it over. So far, pretty cool record. Very chill. A lot of cool playing on that harp. It's definitely something different. So it's taken me a minute to kind of take it in, but I'm really enjoying it. And again, this was one that I had on the list, and it just kind of, I never got to it. So Regina kind of motivated me to go ahead and get it. So thank you for the wonderful recommendation. This is a pretty cool record. Love that percussion. It sounds fantastic over here on the right speaker. Bass sounds nice. You know, it favors favors more the left side. You hear it in both speakers. I like the booklet. I like the fact there's quite a bit of information in here. This one's called Afro Harping here. Sounds really cool. So this definitely has an R&B feel to it, you know, kind of that 60s soul feel to it, as well as having that jazz sound. But it's definitely, to me, heavy on that kind of soul R&B feel, especially with the grooves and stuff. Nice. And again, the songs are fairly short. I'm interested to see what the difference is on the extended versions on this. So we're gonna get to that. I'm gonna listen to one more tune here. So we listened to Afro Harping there. This one's called Little Sunflower. 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So when we go over to these longer tracks on the alternate takes, it's going to be interesting to hear the difference. Little Sunflower. Nice. Yeah, it's a nice sounding recording. It's got some nice depth to it. Pretty decent warmth. You know, it sounds really nice. Harp sounds really nice. It's pretty much straight down the center. Makes you want to go get a Mai Tai or something, huh? And kick back, have your cocktail. Definitely different than what I thought it would be. I'm enjoying it. Freddie Hubbard tune there. I'm going to bring it down. Now we're going to go for the outtakes. So again, I appreciate you guys hanging out, listening to this with me. First time I've ever listened to this album. And thanks to Regina over in Germany for the recommendation. It's one thing I love about having this channel, is being able to interact with you guys and learn from you guys. There's so much great music, and it's just, you know, of course it's hard, you can't get it all. But by your suggestions, you know, I think by going back and forth with our suggestions, we expose each other to a lot of cool music, and so that's really, really neat. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to clean this off, and we're going to drop on these outtakes, which is a whole nother record. And some people say that these outtakes, from what I read online, are actually more engaging than the original record. So we'll see. They're definitely longer. You know, the original record length, they're about 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. These are like more like over 5 minutes for these alternate takes or versions. So it'll be interesting to see if there's, you know, what the difference is, because these are pretty much straight ahead kind of tunes. These are a very groove oriented. All right, so clean this off with some distilled water. Again, nice, cool, clear vinyl. And again, all things being equal, I like to have black, but this so far has been a nice pressing. They're flat, they're quiet, so I'm pretty happy. They look kind of neat on the turntable with the acrylic platter. So let's go ahead and put on side 3, Action Time, and maybe we'll listen to the alternate Afro Harping, and then we'll flip it over. So go grab you a refill your beverage, and on we go.
This is Action Line, Master A, take 2.
Done. Start on 1.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
When you first meet ladies,
Roll it. Ready? 1, 2.
That's cool, like the studio
1,
chatter.
2, 3.
This was Action Line, Master A, take 2, 4 minutes long. The original one was 3 minutes and 40 seconds, so. Of course, you have that little chatter at the beginning, so. Decent packaging, you know, about average card stock. Nice printing, pretty decent. Anti-static sleeves, and again a nice booklet. Percussion nice and resonant. Again, you got some nice depth to this record. Does have a decent warm sound. It's not the warmest sounding recording I've ever heard, but it's nice. It's engaging, you know. And you do have a nice wide sound stage. You do hear the separation of the instruments really kind of surround you. So it's definitely a nice recording. And again, just chill, kick back, grooving. All right, so let's go. I'm going to listen to, I want to hear this Afro Harping alternate take at 5.5 minutes. The original one was 3 minutes. So let's see what we got here. Bass sounds really nice. Fat. So I'm gonna let this song play out. I'm gonna listen to the beginning of the theme from the Valley of the Dolls. Alternate take. Then I'll flip it over and we'll close out on side 4. Appreciate you guys hanging out, listening to this with me. I'm really digging it. Just, it really has that 60s soul vibe to it. Definitely unique. That harp sounds really nice. It's a nice sounding recording. I really like the percussion. I like the way it was mixed. So your separation of your instruments. The bass playing is freaking awesome. That was pretty cool. Theme from the Valley of the Dolls. I just want to listen to a little bit of this before I flip it. Nice strings over here. more I listen to it, the mix is kind of growing on me. Actually, I think these alternate takes, I mean, I'm sure they're probably recorded together, but the mix, everything's kind of growing on me. And I think one thing I want to point out is I listen to a lot of records in here. So, you know, you listen to certain recordings and then it takes you a minute to get adjusted to a new mix, a new recording. You know, the way it was recorded, the way it was mixed and mastered and everything else. And so when you go from one record to another, you kind of have to take your time to kind of start taking it in, you know, especially when you have a completely different set of instruments like this. You know, you got the harp, drums sound nice. You know, you hear pretty much the top end and that percussion in there on a lot of these. Strings sound nice. You really add some depth to that when you get those strings in there. Right on. All right, so I'm gonna bring this down, flip it over. We'll close out with a tune on the other side. I'm definitely enjoying this, so I'm glad to add this to my collection finally. So let's go ahead and flip it over. Let me know what you guys think if you have this album. And I did buy another record that was on sale from the same sale, and that is this Roy Hargrove one. So I'm excited to review this one. And this one I think is colored vinyl as well. So we'll see how this one is going to be. I haven't heard this one either, so I'm excited about that. I also have this new record that just came out not long ago, middle of this year. This Alex Wharton album. So I'm looking forward to playing this for you guys. A lot of stuff coming up for you. A lot of reviews coming up. So be sure to subscribe and be on the lookout. Soul Vibrations alternate take. It's like one of those synthesizer kind of like I forgot what brand it is, like Sun Ra used with all the analog synthesizer stuff. All right, folks. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Again, thanks to Regina at Hi-Fi News in Germany for your suggestion. Really cool record. Nice booklet. I'm digging it. Again, stay tuned for Sunday. Interview with Jacob Went. Multi-part interview. Still editing it. You're going to enjoy it. If you love jazz, you're going to enjoy hearing what he has to say. So, and again, if you missed last Sunday, Brian Charette, hour-long conversation with him, go check that out. All right, folks. Happy listening, and we will see you on the next video.